Hello everyone, it's time once again for some more Blaston action. Uh, with every stream that we do, we try to improve it and make it a bit more interesting. And I think I'm absolutely killing my computer right now with all of the programs that I have open up. Uh, so basically what we're gonna do today, we're going to watch some more Blaston gameplay. And this is the first time we're actually trying to see if we can be live on both Twitch but also on Steam. So I do think that this is working right now, but we might have some people that are actually tuning in on Steam. So if you want to, you can check that out, which is basically that you go to the store page and then you will see the event there, and then you can see the broadcast there, which is really cool. I've never streamed on Steam before. And so it's gonna be interesting. I'll take a look at that later. And one more thing is that once again I am not alone for this stream. Previous stream I was joined by Armin, which you could hear as a disembodied voice because I didn't have a stream or like what should I call it, like an overlay for it. But this time I've actually managed to get an overlay, and I'm like really hyping this up now. But here I have Niklas with me. Hello, Niklas. I think
Hello.
People can hear you on stream now. So Niklas is a programmer who works on the project and has been working on it from probably the start, maybe, or
Almost the start. I was sitting in the same room as the team when this started up, and I felt I need to be on this project as well. So I pulled a few strings, so I got to work on it. So I've been working since way before it launched, 2 years almost.
But I would count that as being at least from the start, compared to me, who has only been on the project for about a few months. And would it also be correct to call you like the programmer? Because I know you do a lot of back-end stuff. But is it like back-end programmer or is it programmer?
The team is not that big, so a programmer needs to do a little bit of everything. So yes, everything that doesn't need to look pretty, I've been working on.
That's a good way to put it.
When they want to make stuff pretty, they ask someone else. But when they will get something to work, then I'm there.
I guess that's hence the term of programmer art, right?
Yes.
Is there any art in the game that you have made, like that is still there, or has everything been covered now?
Yes, everything. A few times I've used stuff someone else has done and reused them and repurposed it. So there are stuff I've touched that you can see. But someone else made them pretty first, and then I copied the pretty and used it.
I see. So, but basically, I guess when it comes to the things of Blaston, one of the major components you have been kind of working on is, I would assume, is the networking part of the game, but not only that, but at least that's what I know from talking to you throughout these months, right?
Yes, so I joined the project because I felt that it was exciting with the live networking, the figuring out what goes on, how does everyone knows what's happening, how do we decide who wins, who gets hit, etc. So that's what was where I started, and also doing that we were only 3 programmers at the time, so I was working on like how does weapons work, how does spawning work, and all of that, not only how does networking work. Since we got the basic building blocks of the networking in place, I've mainly been working on making sure we know your progress, finding a match for you, reporting results properly, that kind of networking. That's actually where I'm from the beginning. I'm more of an internet kind of programmer, not really a game programmer to begin with.
I see. But that's really cool. And those are definitely most important in games like this, so it's like really crucial that they are actually good. So I have like a background from fighting games, and I know that Blaston isn't considered a fighting game, but some of the kind of gameplay aspects could be, they have their similarities, and one of the really cool things I've found, at least for Blaston, is how well it works with during bad conditions. I know that people have bad matches sometimes when it comes to connections, but if they have played fighting games, they would be amazed of how well Blaston works. And I think a part of it is because I spoke with Mathieu about this earlier, like how the projectiles work, like when you shoot a projectile and how that is handled by the game. Maybe that is very like super specific now, but I'm just personally, something that kind of amazed me about Blaston is how well that works, because in a lot of games, especially like fighting games, playing Europe to North America is almost impossible, because it's like it doesn't work with the kind of networking programming that they have for those games. It is a super interesting challenge to cover the latency, because the latency can be quite drastic. That doesn't sound much with a quarter of a second delay, but in these kind of fast-paced games, it's make or break. I think we got a good thing going with the physics, which we solved ourselves rather than solving it the traditional way with this step-by-step moving things. We're actually computing a lot of stuff in order to make it work on both sides.
Yeah,
it's kind of like a blessing in disguise that maybe wasn't planned from the beginning, but then it was just like, oh, well, this works.
Yes.
But yeah, we already have a lot of people in chat here. Of course, we have Woody in the chat saying that Blaston is more, saying that the game is more similar to MMA, and I do think that there are some elements to that too, like as a more of a sport, since you're very physical in this. Really nice to see a lot of new people there too. Someone saying, first time catching an official stream in the middle of Spanish class. Hope you are also studying, but thanks for being here. We're gonna take a look at some games, as we always do. And we just had one game finished, so I think we're gonna jump into it like as soon as we get the next one. But yeah, this is really cool, and I'm actually really, really hyped about the fact that we are streaming on Steam. It doesn't sound like a cool thing, but it actually is. Because what is it? Because it allows us to get featured on Steam if we get viewers there. So if you're at home, bring up your Steam client and watch the stream there too. But to start things off, we're gonna have like a more relaxed game, I guess. We have two new players. I think we just had a game between two very experienced players. It seems like the auto spectator is kind of going back and forth with that, so like it takes a high level game.
It's trying to find a high level game, but it needs to be a game that started recently. So it's otherwise we're gonna just see the last 10 seconds, then that's not very fun. So this time around this is interesting as well. I like watching new players play. It gives you it reminds you that everything is not obvious to some people.
Yeah. And
we just saw a crow feather, for instance, just turn around and look behind him, not seeing all the bullets coming for which is something that you learn to not do eventually, but people still do when they're new.
Exactly. I mean, I've most recently gotten into the habit of like feeling, like listening to where the spawn is and then like grabbing it instead of looking at it. But it's hard. Like, it's hard to get there. I also kind of noted that he had the legendary Viper, which Cheeseburger has now too, as well. I love how DEVS is moving as well. It looks like capoeira, kind of like very like dancing kind of way. I like to see that too, in how you see like personality in how people move when they play. It's very kind of, I guess, a signature for this game. But let's see what we find here. I think Cheeseburger is playing the kind of loadout that we saw a lot last stream with Armin, which is the Viper, Vector, Frostbite, and I think he had I should know the name of this by now. The grenade with the laser. Like, it's so embarrassing. I've been working on the wiki the entire day, and I should know the names by now, but I don't.
I've been working on the project for 2 years. I don't know the names either. I
Yeah.
call them the shotgun and so on, but that's not their names.
Oh,
It's super hard because they're called something else. It's even worse in the code because they're called something else because we don't know the names when we make them.
Yeah, no, that's true as well. And they're also the pictures. It's, we're sounding super structured here, but the names of the pictures too, when the 3D artist makes them. Oh, did you see that grenade though? He like
Yep,
threw it
yep.
behind himself. That was pretty cool. And JD Beats is playing this kind of more, I guess, laser kind of loadout focused. So there's these like waves when he has all of the weapons, he combines them to get like 3 or 4 lasers at the same time, and then he uses the Vector, Viper, and I think it's the Hammer to kind of shut them down. But if you survive that wave,
He has the one of the Vipers as well.
yeah, exactly.
I can't see which one though.
I believe it's the curved one. But here you see it, like he sets up the lasers first, and then when they're kind of trapped in, he tries to get them with the Viper and Hammer. But if he doesn't hit that, there's like a really long time until next wave. So it gives like Cheeseburger, nice bow as well. It gives Cheeseburger like a good opportunity to kind of take him out, so which he did. And yeah, so basically some people have been talking in chat, and Armin was on the last stream, but we still have the VODs up, so if you want to listen to that, you can check out our YouTube, and I still think that the VOD is up on Twitch as well, so it's the day 2 of these. This is day 3, not in chronological order, but it's the 3rd day we're doing this. Crazy Kai also has a question. How hard is it to come up?
Lots of questions regarding the weapons. We spend quite a lot of time on the weapons. It's sort of hard to come up with, especially it's hard to come up with a good weapon. We have several ideas that maybe weren't as good, and some of them are really hard technically to implement and so on. So we try a bunch of stuff, and a few of them you see, and a few of them we keep for later and so on. So it takes quite a while, and it's also you need to find out how they're going to work and how they're going to look, and then what they're going to be called, and how they affect the meta of the game. It's a real challenge. I think we've had 3 or 4 releases where we needed to quickly release a patch because the new weapon just broke the balance of the game. It's super hard because you guys are much smarter than we are, so you figure out new ways of using stuff that we haven't really thought of, and then we need to redesign it.
Yeah, I assume that was referring to the Nova Helix, as I've understood.
Nova Helix is just one of the examples. All of the tools in the beginning we introduced had this problem. The tether we needed, I think, the tether needed to be patched.
Yeah.
And there were a few others as well that were just, no, this doesn't work.
Yeah, I guess to note is that like we see all of the like really great suggestions in the Discord as well, and while I love all of them, like it's one of those things too, like even I have ideas, and then it's like when you actually put them to play with all of the other weapons in conjunction, it's like, oh my god, it might be way too strong or like way too bad as well.
Yes, I thought the snowball was going to be one of those, because I thought that, okay, this is a gimmick. But you see, people are using it, and it's actually has its place in the game. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's actually. I mean, from what I've been seeing on these streams as well, you see both like Maxidas here, like using it, but other players as well. Is that I think it's just the speed of it, and that you can get like it doesn't really function like any other weapon. But it is kind of funny because if I remember correctly, it was the Christmas or like the
yeah, it was the Christmas gimmick. Okay, let's add this for fun, and it's stuck around, and it has apparently it's used at high level games.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah. So what is it? Atrium says you didn't include the throwable rock, but I think the frostbite or the snowball is the most similar we can get for this.
You could. The throwable rock was even simpler. It didn't have this obscuring effect. We even had, I think, at the time, like a volleyball ball let me through. So it looked like a sporting equipment we tried out as well. So it has gone through many iterations, Ethereum.
Yeah.
Atrium.
Yeah, and I mean, you can put on a skin pack on the Frostbite so it looks more like a rock as well.
Maybe we could, yes.
Yeah. But Crazy Kai asked, how hard is it to come up with these names for weapons and skins? I think it's not that hard, actually. I think when, at least from what I've been hearing on like how the discussions has been with the weapons, is that you make a weapon, you find some like mechanics that is interesting, and then it kind of, the artist makes something that kind of fits with that mechanic, and then when you see it, it's like, oh, it looks like, how about this for the name? I think,
Yep.
or at least I can imagine that's how the process could be.
Yeah, it's yeah, sort of. We do usually have like we do a bunch of discussions and ideas back and forth, but the naming is of course important, but it's not the hardest thing is getting the weapon to work.
Yes.
In a way that it's interesting to the game and not breaking the game. That's a tough challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And yeah, from It's Water. Hello guys, I've been having fun with this for the last 4 days. Thank you for playing. It's really fun to see. We always have new players coming into the Discord as well, so always fun to see.
Yes.
I think that we didn't get to see or like talk much about this game now, but it feels like the Hammernade was doing a lot of work.
Yep.
And what was another question we had before? How many weapons are you guys planning to add? I don't think we have set like a specific limit to it right now, and probably just taking it more as it comes, I think, is...
Yes, we prioritize weapons with other features because it takes a while. It actually takes all of the disciplines you need. The 2D artist, you need the 3D artist, you need the game designer, and you need the coder to make a weapon. And if we want to spend time on weapons, we can spend less time on other fancy stuff. So It depends on what we deem is important. But we're still looking at new weapons. I just can't promise you when they'll show up.
Yeah. And yeah, Atriums, I'll have another question. Yeah, there. I saw it.
Yes, regarding the netcode. Yes, there is, but it's getting very, very technical. We have, I think we made a few mistakes with the abstractions in the net code. So the verbs that we send are not super stringent. So there are a few things, but it's very, very technical. I don't think I can explain it so that someone that doesn't have access to the source code can get any use of it. So.
Yeah, so
generally I'm happy. Let's put it like that. But of course there are room for improvements.
Yeah, so just for context, because the chat is not seen in the stream later on, is that if there was a question, if there was any regrets regarding the netcode and the design behind it. But yeah, I could imagine, even for me, you know, I would like to say that I have a past as a game designer. When it came to network coding, when I tried to understand how that worked, my mind was...
It's super hard, actually. It's much harder than people want it to be.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, it looks easy when you see it in a game, but then when you start to like talk about all the edge cases and the different scenarios, it just becomes like this wild trying to kind of solve all the problems in the universe kind of thing. At least from what I've... yeah. So, this is so fun. We have so many questions today. Like, last stream, we were so, like, looking at the games, and I hope that you're enjoying the gameplay too. But it's so fun to see all of these questions here, so I cannot help but to talk about them. And so, like, It's Water asked now, was there a weapon that ended up being cancelled due to it not fitting in with the game? And I guess...
Yes, there are many prototypes that were cancelled, but I don't know if I can share them because maybe we want to use them later.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But we've tried a lot of different variants of things.
I guess
especially early on, that were scrapped because okay, these are too complex to fit in our current model, but they're still there in the back of our mind, and occasionally they come back from the people that were involved early in the project, say, but when is this coming back? I tried it 2 years ago in the ugly prototype. When can I do it in the real game?
yeah. And
So
sorry, I just love these kinds of games because of you can obviously tell that these are new players, and it's so fun to like root for them, because I'm not in any way judging them. It's more or less like you see kind of how they learn about stuff. So All In Out here was using I think it was the Cortex shield, and it just like ran out of time, but they still thought that they could defend themselves with it. And it's like, okay, now they probably realized I can't hold that up like continuously. I need to kind
I
of.
also think All In Out is sitting down playing.
Yeah, it looks very static. Yeah, which is also with the height, as you can see here. Some people are shorter though.
Yes, Othar was sitting down to begin with, but he stood up to win it.
That's when you know things are getting serious. I also wanted to say regarding that the weapons that are like not cancelled, I would say, but like not yet added instead, is that I guess, oh my god, this is such a good trap, by the way, from Gabriel, but is that the meta for the game is like always developing, right? And so a gun that might not fit in now, when another gun is added, maybe the entire meta shifts, and that's like, oh, there's a need for something to break this up. And I think that's a good thing to keep in mind when like understanding how guns are made and like our weapons are added to the game, because it may not fit now, but in the future it might be the perfect answer for a build. No, Gabriel, rip. All right, let's take one more question and like actually take a look at the games as well. Is there any way I can help give you guys ideas or tests? So I would recommend anyone who's tuning in to actually to join the Discord, which you can, which is just, since we got partnered, I take credit for that. You go to discord.gg Blaston. I can link it here in chat too. And join it. And we do have a bunch of channels where you can give suggestions on different parts of the game. Actually, we have them segmented by channel. So if you have a suggestion for game-specific stuff, or like more related to the social areas, the Ozo Lounge, feel free to add it there. When it comes to testers, we may be looking into that actually close in the future, and I think, yeah, you can actually sign up on Resolution on our website. That's actually really good that someone mentioned that. Yes, we have that. Playtest on our website. If you want to, not just Blaston, but any of our games, if you feel like you want to test them, we sometimes do playtests, and Johnny is getting sacrificed here. Yeah, okay. But yes, so join the Discord and sign up for the playtest if you want to help, and we love to get some help on this. So thank you for asking.
Yes, and feedback and ideas are very welcome. Of course, we cannot take everyone into consideration or bring every suggestion into the game, but we like your suggestions and feedback.
Yes.
And we do read the Discord. Not only DEVS, even the rest of us are in there looking at what you're saying.
Yeah. And I guess to clarify too with the playtests, like I think we do like a segment of, okay, we need to find these types of people for this game. Then we send out an email to them to test it. It's not guaranteed that you will get to test if you get, just to kind of manage expectations a bit. Because, I think it's really important that you get the right person for the right tests, you know.
Yes. And traditionally also many of the tests have been conducted at our office in Stockholm, because we need to like deep interview and look at people playing the games and so on. But not all of the tests are like that. So even people from around the world can participate in some of the tests.
Yes. I think we saw Altar play previously in a previous match.
Yes, yes. We did. He was the guy who got off of his chair and won the game.
Yeah, exactly. Now they're facing a much bigger challenge here. That one beaver is like definitely not sitting down.
Someone is moving.
Yes, and yeah, he really needs to watch out for those hammer shots. I think it almost looked like he was trying to wave them away, but you can't do that.
You can once.
Yeah, it's like gonna lose you half of the health. I actually don't know what the full health is in terms of numbers, because you have like
your full health is 100, and then you have the different tools doing different damage.
Oh yeah, okay. I was kind of thinking it was 100, but I didn't want to assume it. But yeah, Woody confirms in chat as well. Thank you, Woody.
Yes, it is 100. I read that piece of code just the other day because I needed to mess with it for a new feature. But so it's 100.
I love this, by the way, because Woody is always in chat here, and then he always gets in a game here to get on stream. So we have Woody now versus Apollon.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, and this is so crazy. Like Apollon's combinations with all of these, with the smaller yellow pellets, it's like such a crazy wave that I'm surprised, that Woody didn't take more damage. Like he took a bit, but it's insane that like he managed to dodge that much, because it was like, I don't know, maybe the grenade, the wildcat, and the vector. There's so many things happening at the same time. And he's also doing like a really good comeback after that, like when he survived the wave. And I think he is aware of the hurricanes there. Whoop. But he's really putting up like a fight. Like Apollon is.
Yes.
This is so cool. Like when I always like this when we get to see high level games, because they really push each other to the limit and they take it seriously. I love that. There's no like, oh, this is just for. Even if it's for fun, like they take the competition seriously, right? This is so cool.
You see, snowball even at the highest level.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a gimmick. So that's something I regret thinking.
Yeah. Oh.
Even if it doesn't have to do with the network code.
Oh, and there we saw it. The Viper. I wonder if it actually.
The Viper in the hand of the shield.
Yeah.
If you're unlucky, the Viper can hit you in the hand when you're holding the shield.
Yeah.
So it's if you look at pro players, they usually like hit the shots with the edge of the shield like that, in order to not risk the hand, which might be a little bit poking through.
Yeah. And I guess also to kind of note to anyone watching here, this version of the game that we're looking at is completely automated. So I'm not deciding the camera angles here. Sometimes we get some really good ones. Sometimes it's very hard to actually see what's going on, especially with Apollon's bullet hell mode. But it's, look at that! Like Woody, what? He didn't get hit by anything. That's crazy. But that's so like. What? Not even one thing. Like, that was maybe, I don't know, it looked like 30 shots, but nothing hit him. It's crazy. He's in the lead though, but he can. The Viper does so much damage, so the comeback definitely is like possible.
I like that the vector has become a popular. I like that. That was a tool I liked when we worked on it.
Whoa! Everything just ended in like 5 seconds. I would like the camera to be closer to the podiums. Yes, that is a very good feedback on this too. And I think if we do continue to work on this version of the game, then we probably will look into the camera angles too.
I think the camera angles a little bit. They're also geared towards, because I think it's the same camera angles that you get as a spectator in VR, and that's a different scenario. It's that field is so wide.
Yeah.
So it's tough. You get another Woody.
Yeah, and this time against Nameless, which I don't recognize by name, funnily enough, but is the I think that compared to Apollon, who has been like on top on the leaderboards, this might be, a different dynamic. But this seems like this person knows what they're doing too.
You don't get to overload, but not. You need to know a bit about the game.
Yeah.
To get all the way.
Yeah, but I think, and we are going to get to those the suggestions in the chat, by the way, too. We're not ignoring you. It's just so cool games happening on the stream right now. I think
Yes.
I think we're seeing like a lot of. I think the movement was the biggest, like the what is it? The difference between these two, because Woody was just like dancing around, while Nameless more or less looked like he was pretty stationary, like he's getting hit by the Viper like that. And that's a big component too, that I guess it's hard to even consider when you make this game, is that like how people will actually move. like this Viper ellipse stuff.
And you need quite a bit of space. When we were developing this, we started out in the office. Now, of course, due to COVID, we're working from home, so the conditions is a bit different. But in an office, you have these big spaces that you might not have in your living room, and you need to have a bit of space to play this game. So that is a challenge. But I know I've seen pictures of Woody's play area. He has plenty of space.
Yes. So Crazy Kai wrote earlier, few weapon ideas. The bow and arrow. Actually, that has been suggested in a previous stream as well. It's really fun that people are like keep coming back. Maybe it was you that suggested it earlier, but we've heard about that one before. And maybe a weapon that if you shoot an enemy, it does a little damage, but it heals you. That's an interesting dynamic too, like healing.
Yes.
But all right, now we see
the bow and arrow we've been talking about for quite a long time, and many of these combined two hands would be interesting, but we're still we need to figure that out a bit, so it works properly. As DEVS said in the beginning of the stream, we need the game to also work. We want it to be stable and a pleasant experience for you. So adding too crazy stuff is hard.
Yeah.
But we have thought of this combination of two things. The tether, what's it called? The
Quicksilver.
Quicksilver. Sorry. That one is an attempt of doing this. You need to do one thing with one hand and another thing with the other hand to do something.
Yeah.
And we think that's fun mechanics because it makes the game more complex and more interesting.
Yeah. I mean, one thing, and I mentioned this in the last stream when we talked about it with Armin, is that one thing I kind of like about Blaston right now is because someone mentioned this earlier, like I think the right hand man bro wrote that they want to show off their like one-handed skill, and I think that is definitely possible in Blaston right now with that since most of the weapons require only one hand, it's pretty cool in that way that more people can take part of it, but you can create some more interesting dynamics with two hands for sure. Okay, let's for this we have a rematch now with Apollyon and Woody. So it really looked like Woody had that last game or like the last round, but then he just died in 4 seconds because of the wave. It must be so tough to face him. It's like even if you do one slight mistake, Apollyon will just instantly win like that. That is definitely like a testament to someone's game plan, like I guess working flawlessly. I love this jumping too from Woody. He's just so agile. I say while sitting down, relaxing as much as I can, looking at this. we were, and this is by no means like leaky anything, but we were recording some stuff for the Oso Lounge, and even just sitting down and walking around, I was like, whew, I'm getting sweaty here. It's like the office workers. Like I really need to play this more, basically. We also have Ben in the chat. Hello, Ben, which is Tilbet. Then it's the game designer on the game, and also I do believe that we had Simon, who is another programmer as well, in the chat. So we have DEVS actually here too, confirmed. Not just us on the mic. But this is getting really close again. I can't get I can't wait until we are affiliated on Twitch so we can do match predictions, especially for these types of games, because it would make be so fun to see people who would think would win. Woo! Woody needs to do something here. It's like,
Yes.
oh, he's like desperately trying to. Oh, the frostbite could have saved him. No. GG's. Very well played from Happyland today. He's really like in the zone. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. What is it? Ben actually got featured in an article by VR Esports about Blaston that got published, I think, about a day ago. It's really cool. We will post it on our socials and on Discord, but I guess I can link it here in the chat as well. It's really cool to like, especially for me who's like new to the team, to hear more about how the game came to be. So I really recommend you guys to read it. Yeah, it was Woody was saying, he's on another level today. It's Water asked how long has this been out? I guess that's a question for you, Niklas.
It's isn't it October? Let me just double check so I don't lie, but I think it's October.
While we wait for a game, I guess we can switch, because I don't think people have actually seen us, but hello, we're actually humans talking and not just disembodied voices. But yeah, I think the game came out late last year, so it was because I was actually following it.
October the 8th.
Yeah.
2020 on Quest, and then a bit later on Steam.
Yeah, and also you can see, if you read this article that I sent you, you can also spot maybe some more information about the next update of Blaston, which is probably the first time we're officially talking about it, but we will have more information about the next update very soon as well. Don't trust them, humans. Yes. And
you're the one to talk, Ben.
It is funny though, because of the situation, and obviously you can tell that we're working from home, is that I haven't actually met some people of the team, but I hopefully will be doing that sometime soon. Anyways, we got another game now, so back to it. Oh, and as I said,
it's more of a new. I think Pink just went outside the Guardian, didn't he? Or did he walk into a laser, maybe?
Yes, both.
Walk off podium.
So
a little bit of both.
Yeah, a little bit of column A, column B. So this nickname actually by the blue player here makes me wonder if they have a Twitch channel, because sometimes people put their nicknames in this way, like TTV, which is like a short edge of Twitch TV, which I'm not at all going to type in and see if this dude is streaming right now. Would be insane. Oh, they actually are. They are on Twitch, so that's.
So he's streaming a game we're streaming. Excellent.
He's not streaming now, but it seems like they have a channel. It's kind of like how Woody has YouTube in their nickname too. Maybe a future prodigy for Woody to train or something. At least they're happy. Look at them go.
Yes.
That is actually something I've noticed with a lot of new players, is that they react so, like, you can see in their body language how happy they become when they win a game, while the experienced players, they're just like, yeah, okay, fist bump. Next one. Let's go next.
These are proper new players.
Yes.
This is gonna be awesome.
They're even stretching.
So much fun looking at preparing.
But this,
or is it? This looks like maybe it's.
This could be.
They're stuck.
Yeah, this almost looks like they're in like a friendly duel or something. I'm not. I love that they keep switching camera angles, but like nothing is happening.
Yeah, I think one of them has frozen.
Yeah, this is hilarious.
So much for my super stable network code.
He just
the pink player had froze.
He just got deleted from the game. It's just like.
Yeah, he did. Eventually, if your headset isn't responding, the game will remove you after a little while. So that was happening this time. So the pink player's headset had froze for some reason.
Okay, so no one can blame us for that.
Yes, of course someone can blame us. It's most likely our fault that the game broke.
Oh man.
But we need to handle it somehow. Occasionally things break, and then we need to clear the game and start another one instead, so people can have fun.
Yeah, what a match! Thanks for the follow, by the way. We put in those notifications too. We do have one for subscribers, but we can't get subscribers because we're not affiliated. Hence the stream. No, we're not aiming to get a lot of subscribers with this stream. More or less what we want to do with the affiliation is so that we can have cool emotes and match predictions and stuff like that. And also an excuse to stream. This is very much work for us. Hard work to look at these games.
Yes, yes.
Oh man. Oh no. What are we having two in a row where they...
No, I think he's adjusting his headsets. Or is he? Something is...
Oh, come on. That's not sportsmanlike.
Come on, Abes.
No, get back here. No. Oh, executed. That's some easy points for 88-67-9. Very nice nickname.
Yeah, that's just rolls off your tongue.
Yes. I've seen that a lot in actually in Chinese esports, where players will have just a bunch of numbers, and I think it's like in that language easier to like pronounce in what is it, like as a sentence almost, but for an English or Swedish speaking person it's like, oh yes, 10 numbers. Can we know when the update is? We will let everyone know very soon. So like when we're kind of ready to announce that, because if we do announce it too early and we change it, people will be sad, and we don't want people to be sad and angry. So that is the reason we're kind of holding off on it. But it's very soon, and just keep your eyes on the Discord and on our social channels, and you'll be the first to know. Especially on Discord, because I do at everyone when that happens. Now we have a new fighter against Apollon, and we've seen Fijimok on previous streams as well, which is...
Yeah, we saw him the first match on this stream as well.
Yeah. I think, I don't know if, it might have not been shown actually on stream, but for you. But
yeah, maybe that was before when we were warming up.
Yeah, and I think what we noted when we saw Fijimok playing earlier, this laser setup is so cool. But it's actually hitting him. Oh, that's so cool.
Yep, yes.
So
and those
no, and he lost anyways.
Oh, what a comeback.
Yeah. Oh, I think he felt a bit disappointment from that too. But I was going to say that Fijimok is one of the few players at this level that I've seen that uses the Nova Helix these days after the patch to it, I guess. Way to put it, but if I recall correctly, the Nova Helix has like a long spawning time, so it's not...
Yes, it's rather slow.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard for him to like do the setup that he wants to do, and I think that's the thing with all of these... Oh no, he's taking so much damage with these... that's so good from Apollon. Like, he is nailing every shot today. It's crazy. But yeah, I think in overall with the laser loadouts is that if you can't hit the wave, it's gonna take a long time before you can get more damage in.
Yeah.
So you have to really be careful.
Yeah, both of the lances are also slow in spawn.
Yeah. And I'm also wondering that, like, if that build that he had, like Fijimok, if he had like a max capacity for his spawns as well with that build. Potentially, that like he had to remove a weapon to spawn a weapon, because it looked so slow.
Yes, yeah, I think so. When you have such slow weapons, it's gonna cap out rather quickly. I don't remember where the cap is exactly.
No. Maybe Woody can confirm.
You can hit the cap rather easily with those really slow weapons.
Ooh, this is also a really cool like laser setup from Nameless. Wow. Okay. 27. Yes.
Yes, that's true, Woody.
I was going to say 25, but near close, but not well enough. But so for anyone who's kind of new to the game, the spawn-in times is actually also the cost for the weapons. So if you have a lot of weapons that have long spawn-in times or costs, and you exceed 27 seconds or 27 cost, then you can't spawn them unless, yeah, it's a bit complicated to explain, but I hope you get the main gist of it.
Yeah, and you even need to destroy the weapon. So if you're holding something, it still counts as. Oh no, Fijimok disappeared.
Yeah, he just got deleted.
I think he yeah.
So I actually had one game there when I started at the company. I was playing a lot to kind of understand the game. I had a game where someone, I guess they were playing on a Rift or like an Index. I could see they tried to avoid one of my shots and they jumped and I think they ripped out the cord of the headset and the avatar just basically scrambled up like a ragdoll. And it looked so funny.
You can get really strange postures if you remove your headset or like take a quest and put it upside down on the floor. Then the avatar just looks dead roadkill. It's
hilarious. I read courses. I'm not hopping on because I don't want to get wrecked. I mean, I also do want to say that these streams are more for the fun of it, to like more to get to know the game, but also for anyone who wants to ask us in development team anything, they have the chance to. And we've had so many cool questions already today, which I've been really happy about. But one of the things I also like, just noting here now with the two newer players, is that one fun aspect of the game is because you unlock the different weapons by level, you kind of grow as a player with the weapons that you get, if that makes sense. And I really like that. I'm not sure how well we've thought about it, but I love, how people start out with a Nova like this, and then when they realize, oh, there's stronger weapons, maybe I can use that instead, or I like that dynamic.
We actually try to make sure that they are not stronger weapons, they are more complex. So the Nova still has a place, and the Viper still has a place. Even higher up. So we start off with the weapons that are easy to understand, and then we add the next level of complexity and so on. So the unlocking has nothing to do with strength; it has to do with complexity.
Yeah, no, that's very well put. I think that was what I was going for, but you made it sound very much better, so thank you. And
Crazy Kai is asking about swords, or not asking, he's demanding swords. That's what I'm reading. And we have maybe not with offensive swords, but like a lightsaber that you can swat out bullets with. That has been on the. We've tried it. We will see.
Yeah. That is going to be like, you were speaking about complexity. That would be he actually just fist bumped that Viper shot. So just reading up on chat here, it's Water saying thanking us for answering the questions, and of course we'll answer any questions if we can, because again, the things I mentioned previously about like we can't reveal things too early, because if we don't do them, people get sad. That is actually how simple it is. And or angry. And then have a comment here as well. Stream is awesome. It's amazing that even though the weapons are in slow motion, it's still happening too fast. Yes, and it is looking slow here for us, but if you see this in
when
first
you're
person,
in it, it's not slow.
Yeah, and that is also a thing for us to look at when we do, if we potentially adjust the camera angles, is to kind of get in closer, because oh my god, this is destruction from Woody. And now, giving it some back here. Because it is very much more intense when you are in it. So we're very fortunate to be seeing it like this. Oh my god, this got really close. Like, they were both just kind of getting hit by the waves. And Adrian asked, ever think of adding in character abilities, like press button to spawn a shield? I I think the main, at least as far as I've understood it, maybe you can correct me here, Niklas, is that the point, like, we do have different characters in the game, and they do have, like, you know, different personalities, but the point of them being at the same level is so that everyone is equal, right? Because I don't.
Yes, yeah, and we want them to be similar. We've all, for instance, when adding the hacks character, we had to struggle a bit with the hitboxes because we don't want the hitboxes to be different so that you pick a character over another because of the mechanics. We
Yeah.
want them to be cosmetics only, and your loadout and your gameplay and your style. That is your edge, not the character you're choosing.
Yeah. Another question we had from Crazy Kai was themed updates. That is definitely something we are going to do moving forward. And the first time we tried this now was, I mean, we have done it in the past too, so we're definitely looking into that. We can't say anything more about it now, but I guess you have something to look forward to then.
Yeah, and we did have, for instance, the Christmas update. You got the snowball, the penguin, and a Christmassy welcoming screen. So that was a bit themed.
Yeah, so more of that, pretty much, I guess. This is super cool too. This is actually, like, this is close now from these two. Like, I can't tell at all who is going to take it. Grabbing the nade in the air, I love that. I have not been able to do that myself, but I love to see it.
It is risky business because you're moving towards the grenade, so it's gonna hit you harder if you fail it.
Yeah.
But it's super satisfying when you can do it.
Oh, that was pretty sick. Woody shot the nade out in the sky with his hurricane. Ooh,
yeah, usually it's easier to throw a shield at it, but you can shoot it both with the hurricane and with the. Yeah. Oh, how many HP could that be? 2.
Yeah, he survived that. That was so sick.
That was close.
Because he grabbed the nade with that little health. He avoided all of the shots in the end there to kind of get the final comeback. That was super cool. What about slow motion replays? That would be cool.
that would be super cool.
Yeah.
We don't have it, but we do, since we do have the replay functionality. It should, if I ever get time. Yes, Tigger Noir, whatever your name is. Well, I would want slow motion replays as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of these, the unfortunate. Oh my god, this trap though from Woody. Woo. I think he's switched out his build a bit too. Maybe he's just trying to display something here for us. But I feel like this build is a bit different from what we saw earlier. He probably like went out and changed out his loadout. I can't remember what the previous.
He needs to do something about Apilon. Apilon is invincible today, so he needs to mix it up a bit.
Yeah, because I don't think we saw Woody using the Super Majestic earlier, so it feels a bit different. And I mean, yeah, he shoots that out, and then he like tries to trap him in, and he's working.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing tons of damage.
The Super Majestic, I think, is a really hard tool. Everyone just super kills me with it, but I can't kill nothing with it. It's super hard.
Yeah, and you see also Woody like taking a step forward when he uses it too, to kind of get the maximum range there, so it doesn't like float off. I think that is like knowing the range of not getting out of bounds and shooting at the right time is very important. This is really interesting now because it kind of looks like Woody just figured out Apollon's like playstyle with the loadout, and then he's like, yep, this is how I counter it. And this is why I would like to see more tournaments in Blaston, because this is what you would probably see when people start to rematch each other to like counter their strategies pretty much.
It's also hard to make these counter arguments or counter decks because you don't know who you're up against next. Now Woody was looking for Apilon to get his payback, so now he knew. But
yeah, exactly, and that's what I mean with like
challenge.
With tournaments. I think that will be very more interesting to see because you know who you're gonna face just because of that.
Yes, because we try to play. We know, you know, if you have a knockout, then you know who's you're going to play. And even in the tournaments we have now, you know approximately who you're going to play because you play other people in your vicinity
Yeah.
are active at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. This is so cool. I think almost feeling a bit thankful here for the top players because they're kind of displaying the best parts of the game for us in such a kind manner. Oh, that super majestic. See if Woody will
I
be able
don't like
to...
the super majestic. I feel with Apilon at the moment.
Yeah, I think it looks cool though. Like it's just like
Yes.
it's like the biggest tool I think as well.
Yes, it is. It definitely has its place. I just don't. I just get killed by it every time.
Mental note for if we ever do another internal tournament.
Yes, bring the super
yeah.
majestic when you play me.
Another thing too with these two is that like Apelon has been so good, but he's also been playing a lot. So there's a point where you get tired when playing Blaston, right? So I think it's not to disregard Woody's win at all. I'm just saying that it's an interesting dynamic in this game that you don't really have in other competitive games at the same extent. And I'm curious to see or know more about that pretty much. Yeah. Woody says, time to dethrone the Angel of Death. Success, I guess. Crooksir asked earlier, did you see the suggestion for gun where you use the stick on one hand to steer bullets? Missile launcher?
What I hear when I read that is like you fire something and then you guide it with the joystick after it's being released, and that is technically for us that would be a challenge.
Yeah.
But definitely we've thought of it, but I don't think we have even tried it because it's the way we built the game. That's gonna be a challenge.
Yeah, it makes me think of the missile launcher in Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2. I think they have it in both. Like you shoot it out and then you can like steer it around with your crosshair. But obviously that is more easier in a pancake game where you have your in the middle of the screen the crosshair. But yes, this is actually going to be this is kind of sudden now, but this is going to be the final game for this stream, and we'll close it off if anyone has a few more questions. But we have been running out of time now for the workday, and we are having our two final combatants here, RCS and Chara. Again, more newer player, but I don't think they wanted to place that bunker barrier up there, but that's where it went.
That happens quite a lot.
The
Especially
Vipers
when
are...
you're new.
No, don't smack the Viper. Oh,
Nice hit with the
Okay.
with the nade.
Yeah, well, that was a good finish. All right, and that's gonna be at least the last game for today when it comes to this. And it's been really great to have you on, Niklas. I was telling you before we started, like you were asking, oh, what were we gonna talk about? Dude, there's so many things that you can talk about. As soon as you press like go live and you see the game, it's like you can bring up so many cool things. But there also a big thank you to everyone in chat for tuning in for this. This is not the last time we're gonna be doing this. As you may have noticed, we have kind of tried to develop the stream more and more for each time with the transitions and like doing more cool things. So hopefully we'll just continue on that. Have a final note here from Crazy Kai. Blaston is kind of like Titanfall 2, and would love some ideas from that game to this game. Yeah, as we said, join our Discord and give us your suggestions, and also if you want to test any games for Resolution, you can do that on our website, which is resolutiongames.com/playtest. But thank you. We'll see you on the next stream. Can't really tell when it is, but I'll post on the Discord when it goes when we go live. So stay tuned for that. Thank you and goodbye. Can say goodbye.
Goodbye.